Hello?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah. No, I was. You can't hear me? Oh, can you hear me?
I hear you now.
All right, my bad. I had it on mute. Yeah, and I was saying that like that what you said, it was true. It's profound. That's why I was telling you. Explain that further when you was like, it's not about.
Oh yes. I feel like it's not solely on feelings, right? Because if you think about it, the institution of marriage has been there since before, Bible times, right? And back in the days, it's usually about this kingdom coming together with this kingdom so that they can, build bigger kingdoms, right? This family marrying into this family so that they could be more powerful, right? So it's not always about love. Yes, you gotta like the person, you even gotta love the person, but love shouldn't be number one.
Wow.
Because you know what? Love don't pay the bills. Love don't send the kids to school. Love don't pay the mortgage. Love don't do none of that. And people change.
So what do you think of all these dudes that's marrying women that they just marry for love? The women don't really have wealth or not really like bringing any kind of money to the table. You think those dudes are stupid?
No. It's also a different dynamic for men and women, right? When women get into relationships, into marriages, we're actually giving more, even if we're not working, right? Because of, societal roles that women have to uphold.
But what
right?
more are y'all giving?
We birth children,
huh?
right? We birth children, so it's a different dynamic.
So you think that giving birth to a child is more than a guy breaking his back for 21 years to take care of that child?
Yes.
That 9 months of giving birth is more than 21 years.
Yes, giving birth is a life or death thing. Like you can literally lose your life. And let's be real.
But stress
children,
too.
Yes,
Stress too.
Care for children, but it's a different dynamic.
But what about dudes that's taking home? What about dudes that's taking home a little bit of money because half of their check is taken out of taxes and child support, and they can't even take care of themselves, and they stress and end up dying early? That's a slow.
They should have worked harder. They should have. This is the thing, right? Men, this is the thing with men too. You have to make sure you're straight first before you find a woman. You know what I'm saying? So now you're barely surviving on your own and you fucked around and got somebody pregnant. Now you're struggling. No. Get yourself together first before you find a woman. Things happen. Yes, we live in a day and age now where it's very hard for a family to live on a one person income. I get it. But a lot of people are doing things backward. You know what I'm saying? They're having kids without even having a career, a job.
Is it fair to say to a man, right, a woman, right, is somewhat of a liability?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Having kids is a liability. Having people to take care of is a liability. Absolutely. That's why you have to make smart decisions. You can't hustle backward, having kids in different households, and you have to send your money has to be separated in different households, and you could barely take care of yourself. That's you hustling backward, period.
Right, but what about when accidents happen? For example, he's having sex with a woman and the condom breaks and she's pregnant and she says,
That's not an accident. I'm sorry. I don't care if you use a condom. I don't care if the girl's on birth control. Whenever you have sex with someone, you should put in your mind that this person could potentially be the mother of your child.
Right. But do women have sex that way? Do women always have sex thinking that this person...
They should.
They should.
They should.
So you're saying men should do that, but obviously both of them don't.
Oh, men and women should do that.
Men and women should do that, but that's not the reality though.
And that's the problem. That's the power.
Because you know what? Because that'd be good. Because a lot of these women out here wouldn't be getting no sex at all. They wouldn't be able to find a guy. Because a lot of times they sell sex, but they're not selling the reality that, hey, if you have sex with me, that means there's a potential chance we could have a kid. A lot of women are not selling that. That's not what they package. They just put ass, pussy, and titties in the forefront.
Their own. Each individual should have that. That's not for a woman to sell. Each individual should come into that knowing that for themselves. I shouldn't convince you.
If a man, so you're saying if a man is not willing to have kids, he shouldn't have sex.
Period. Vasectomy. You can reverse that shit if you want. Period. If you don't want to have a kid,
don't have sex.
Vasectomy.
Don't have sex.
I'm not even saying don't have sex. I said vasectomy.
So there's no mutual agreement. There's no such thing as a guy said, look, I like you. I want to have sex with you, but I don't have a kid. And she says, okay, fine. You don't believe in that agreement?
No.
Okay.
Taser!
Well, I'm glad you see that, marriage is a transfer of wealth. But why does it have to be a transfer of the man transferring his wealth to the woman? Why can't it be vice versa?
Ask other men that. That's not a question for a woman to answer because we didn't create the system.
No. Listen, we're being objective. When you're being objective, you can see it on both sides. That's what being objective is. Being able to reason and explain it on both sides.
There's no objectivity in it.
Same way you said it. Same way you said man transferring his wealth to the woman. And you explained it that way. I did not debate that. I just said, okay, it's same way you should be able to see it the opposite way. If a woman is marrying a guy with less money and she's transferring her wealth to him, what's the problem?
Because that's not how it works, though. There's no being objective about
that's
it.
not how, of course, that's how it works. That's what the law says. If you make more money than me, and I make shit, and we get married, you're transferring a part of your wealth to me. That's what the law says.
Yeah, that's what the law says, right?
And that's all that matters.
Right. Okay, so then that's fair. That's why women should always marry up.
Oh, see, and this is why I always tell people, women don't see marriage as a love thing. They see it as an investment.
Because we have more to lose.
Because you have more to lose. Because you birth kids for 9 months.
Men's egos are bruised when their women earn more than them. However you put it.
Not mine. I know a lot of guys. Not that guy you was explaining that's dealing with your friend. His ego's not bruised.
Feels like the less of a man. Of course he does.
No, he's marrying her. He's getting into a house with her, and they living a good life. It's the people around him that seem to be bruised by it, not them.
Eating him up inside. This is why he tried to assert his masculinity in other ways, right?
No, hold on. Let's go into the more to lose thing. Because you carried a child for 9. You got some women that's experts in giving and having children. They push out 10 kids. There's women that know how to push out 10 kids. So you mean to tell me that 9 months experience of pushing out a kid is more to lose than a man who grind his whole life to achieve some kind of status and have some kind of wealth? She's losing more than him because she carried a child for 9 months.
Yes.
Come on, man. You don't believe that, Jen. You don't believe that.
I believe that.
You believe that shit? You know how much women out there that's have no ambition, low lives, ain't doing shit with themselves, but they know how to open their legs and get pregnant, and they have more to lose in the transaction?
Women don't get pregnant. Men impregnate women.
Women get pregnant because women get to choose if they want to get pregnant or not. They could get a plan B. They have birth control. They could have sex when they. Come on.
Men get to choose if they ejaculate, if they release their bodily fluids in women.
A man can't impregnate a woman without even ejaculating.
So that's a choice you made. Who controls your bodily
So what's the
fluids?
responsibility on her part of getting pregnant? What's the responsibility on her part? What's the accountability on her part?
caring for the fucking child and carrying the child for 9 months. That's
But you
her
say women don't get pregnant, men impregnate women.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me if I have a daughter and she goes outside and busting it open and she comes back pregnant, I'm gonna look for the dudes and say, why did you impregnate my daughter? That's crazy. That shit is crazy.
The accountability is on both parts.
But you didn't say that though. You didn't specify that though.
But that's what I'm saying. If I'm pregnant, if I choose to keep the baby, that's me being held accountability for busting it wide open. You, a man, you control your bodily fluids, whether you ejaculate in a woman or not, right? You don't want to get pregnant. You don't want someone to get pregnant. Don't fucking. I
got that. Okay, she's accountability is that she wants to keep it. Okay, fine. She wants to keep the baby. Now, she has nothing going on for herself. All she did was open her legs and got pregnant to a freaking guy that's a guy that achieved a lot. So she has more to lose? What she got to lose? What is she losing?
Yes, she has more to lose. She could lose her life.
Oh, wow. She could lose her life. Wow. So what happens when she doesn't lose her life? What happens when she have the kid? Then what?
To care for the baby.
Then who's losing more?
24-hour, 18-plus-year thing.
But a lot of these girls ain't even taking care of their kids. They got their kids in childcare and they out there still busting it open.
I don't like to have these conversations with men because every time I have a response, you move the goalpost. So
I didn't move the goalpost because we're going step by step on what you said. First, you said that because they could lose their life, they have a lot to lose. So what happens when they have the kid? They didn't lose their life. Now, who's losing at that moment? They still losing because they got to take care of the kid. Wow, I didn't know taking care of kids was that hard.
It is. I feel like
it doesn't seem that hard to me. I had my daughter for 2 weeks. I had my daughter for 2 weeks in December. I fed her, I showered her, I wiped her ass. I took care of her for 2 weeks. I know what that feels like.
Yeah, I do not understand the value of women.
Yo, and you wonder why when you look at a man's lifespan is shorter than a woman. And when they evaluate, they see why. They see the stress. They see going out to work in the workforce. Those are the things that made a man's lifespan shorter. And now women is hitting the workforce like men. And guess what? They're catching on because women's lifespan are shortened too.